you could make an argument that Clem has some of the best PvT in the world. There is only one Terran player in the world that Clem has not beaten with his Protoss, and that one Terran is Maru. And that is only because they haven't played. They like Maru and Clem, they haven't played, so that's the only reason why Maru has escaped the wrath of Clem's Protoss. I'll be honest, I said this before, I was looking forward to seeing that PvT between Clem and Maru at Star Zagora, but Maru isn't going to Star Zagora, so we're not going to get it there. We'll get it eventually, not at Star Zagora, hopefully at another tournament. I'm hoping that happens at one point. Gibbs, papi Gibbs. But now we're stepping in and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha. We have the South Korean Terran, sorry, the French Terran player, the French Terran himself, the blue. God, sorry, the names mix me up. The French Pro, I guess he's a French Terran usually, but he's a French Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is a Clem. Look, they both in-game name starts with Liquid. They both have C, like I. Not like this. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is a Cure. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we have a double gas opener out of Cure. Cure opening up more aggressively. Let's go. Just catching up in the chat. Out of curiosity, does a healing pad heal shields too? I expect Archons to do really well on those if that's the case. Healing shrines only heal HP, not shields. So only health. Feeling blessed that Clem plays less popular maps. I would say that was more on Shin. I do think that Torches does favor Terran in TVZ just because of the size of the map and just because, I mean, you saw how aggressive you can be. So I'm surprised that Shin didn't veto that. Like, I think playing on Last Fantasy and playing on Torches was more on Shin, less so on Clem, because I feel like it's more commonly that the Zerg player would get rid of those maps instead of allowing those maps through the veto process. But Shin, he is more of a chaotic and more of a wild player, so I guess he wanted to, you know, look to enjoy himself and also experience some of the other newer maps that we almost never see. But yeah, I appreciate it nonetheless. Do appreciate it. Just catching up. Hell's before you in the alphabet, Clem wins. Oh, true. It's all about the names, Papi, all about the names. But now the Twilight Council open out of Clem. Clem, he often plays standard. If you haven't seen Clem's PvT, he often plays standard. Twilight Council opener into 3-gate blink, into a third base, into the mid game. You don't often see all-ins out of Clem's Protoss, so you can try to make use of that to your advantage, technically, possibly. From the side of Cure, as a reminder, double gas opener, faster factory into faster cyclone production into a 1-1-1. We'll see if the cyclone production continues. We'll see if this is just a safe way to open up. I'm curious how this factory is going to be made use of. Otherwise, we could even see an add-on swap into early Banshee play, into early Raven. We'll keep an eye on Cure, as he did open up more tech heavy. Behind this, again, Twilight Council, we have 2 gates so far. We expect a third gateway or even just straight up a third base. Welcome to Maganatha. I should also emphasize the map as well. This is the largest map. This is the largest map in the map pool. Longest rush distance by ground. A lot of bases, very wide open spaces. I say open spaces. A lot of attack pods in the center, very choky. There's a lot of rocks to be knocked down, a lot of towers. Fun fact, you can knock down towers on towers. Here, there are rocks on the ground, and you knock down these towers to replace them with a fresh set of rocks as well. So it's like, we heard you like towers. There's towers everywhere to knock down to fully wall this off, and we've seen a lot of late game on Maganatha as a result. We've seen a lot of longer and later games on Maganatha. To gain access to the gold base, you have to knock down the tower to destroy the Zelnaga, and then destroy the rocks to gain access to the gold. Like, there's just towers everywhere, Papi. This, for now, though, early push. We did mention, remember, double gas opener, early factory, early tech lab, early cyclone, into very early tank production. And here we go. Cure, he's pushing out stimless, by the way. This is stimless, no stim. These are vanilla marines, but insanely early tanks. Just early tanks here out of Cure. He's pushing in, he's going for the kill, he's going for the throat. And Clem expanded. Clem took a third base. Clem, he went 3-gate blink into a third. The first gateway goes down. Clem, he was being a little bit too greedy. He had no presence on the map either. Boys are being pulled. Does pull the boys, does take down the first tank. First tank goes down. Who takes down the medivac as well. And Clem is holding. Yeah, Clem, he's holding on. The second tank is too late. Again, the map is working against Cure because the map is so long. The all-in takes so long to get across the map itself. But here we go. The second tank now arrives. We'll siege up. Clem, can he target it down? He can, and he will. Yes, second tank does fall. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh, can he get it? Oh, barely does. But the Cyclone is still alive. Gets a local and breaks through the Stalker. GG gets called. The 1G even, and Cure takes game number 1. Whew, GG. Cure going for the all-in, rushing into early tank production. Clem did not see it coming. Clem was caught with his pants down. Clem's army was actually in between his bases at the time. He had no idea what was coming his way, and Cure risked it all with that all-in. Again, I was still a little bit, I wasn't too convinced by it, just because, as you saw, it takes longer to get across the map, takes longer to reinforce, but he barely pulled it off nonetheless. GG. GG, well played. Whew, Cure takes the lead, and the question now becomes, can Cure cheese the hell out of Clem? Can he knock him out real fast and real quick? Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the French Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid, down in the series. We'll see if he can recover. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Whew. Hello, SCV. What's going on? As speaking of aggression, Cure does send his first SCV across the map. Now, my assumption here, this is going to be an eBay block. I'm assuming there's going to be an eBay block across the map with one Rax back at home. But the trajectory of this SCV is interesting because we're staying a little bit further back. I'm curious if this is for a proxy or if we are just hiding from the scouting probe and then going in for the eBay. Yeah. Okay, we're going in. So he does avoid the scouting probe, he does skirt around the edge, and we are moving in for the engineering bay. For the block, for the denial. There we go. eBay is being thrown down. This time, single gas opener. Remember, last game, faster factory, faster tech lab into really fast tank production. This time, we're going for a more delayed economy, or we're forcing a delayed economy out of Clem, and back at home, we should be getting into an economy as well. Ranks into CC. So we're slowing things down, and we are trying to disrupt the build of Clem. And look at the progression here. Clem, he now moves down to the low ground, but the eBay is almost done, and Clem, he has to expand elsewhere. So Clem, he does move out to the linear third base, and this is where the Terran player can be abusive. Let's go. Factory before CC. Cure had a choice. He had a choice to make. He went for the faster factory. From here, I feel an add-on swap into Hellion production. Now, as a Protoss player, it can be very difficult to defend this third base and the main at the same time because you're so spread out. You're split apart here. So Hellions, Cyclones, early game factory units can abuse this position and hit the third or hit the main base and go back and forth, right? They can go back and forth between these two locations. We'll see if we do go for a set add-on swap here. Oh, never mind. No add-on swap, no Hellions. Okay. So Cure, he's calming things down. CC on the high ground, and we are keeping the reactor on the racks, not going for Hellion production. We have seen Clem go reactor to Hellion into Hellion harass with like 4 or 6 Hellions like into the bases, into the mineral lines. Cure is taking a different approach, going into early Cyclone instead. Let's go. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice, Twilight Council opener out of Clem. Does go for the Twilight Council. Adept does scout. Adept does confirm the CC on the high ground, does confirm the faster factory, and also confirms the tech lab on the factory as well. From here, 1-1-1. Do we just go for early tank again? Do we go for like the same build? Do we go Cyclone into tank into a stimulus push for a second time in a row? Does he start the tank? We're waiting for the gas. Okay, double Cyclone production this time, and is moving out. So his army is going to be a little bit less mobile. Instead of going into Mass Hellion early on to poke back and forth, we're going for Cyclones. This is going to be a little bit different. Oh, true. He's healing up. Let's go. Cyclones early on, they can pick away at these units, the Stalkers, the Adepts. We'll see what Cure can catch. Pokes in, gets a lock on the probe, not on a unit, not on a Stalker. Adept is spotted. Adept takes a lot of hits, but now we're up to 4 Stalkers. Again, it all comes down to these lock-ons, how well these Cyclones can trade. Clem does break the lock-on, picks off the Marines, nicely done. The Marines are going down, and Clem holds. Whew. Clem, he holds on. Cure, he fails to lock on to any key unit. Now we're up to 2 Cyclones, but Cure, he needs some kind of buffer for the Cyclones. And here comes the follow-up, Cyclone drop, and we're still making those earlier tanks a little bit later than last game, of course, because this time we have a second Cyclone. So Cyclone drop into bio tank production back at home. Clem, Blink is about to finish. Clem is poking in, delays the bunker, picks off the Marines, nicely done. When it comes to how many gateways, oh, do you see what I see? I see 1 gateway at the natural, and I see 3 gates in the main. 4 gate Blink. 4 gate Blink Stalker Cyclones, they bust on in, they take down the first 2 Stalkers. 1, 2 Stalkers go down, boys are being pulled, probes are going down, and so far nice damage here from Cure. Cure, he's popping up, takes down 4 workers. Did I say 4 probes? 5. Getting 5, getting up to 6. Oh, barely gets away. And does pull out. 6 probes do fall. And remember, Clem, he's delaying his 3rd in favor of 4 gate Blink. 3 in the main, 1 at the natural. He's pushing out. Clem is being hyper aggressive. And we'll see if he can break Cure. As the 4 gate Blink is upon us. Remember, he can warp in 4 Stalkers at a time. Clem does expand behind this, doesn't warp in yet. There we go. Now reinforcing. Everything moves out. So Clem does leave 1 Stalker at home to defend. Ooh, and there's only 1 tank in the main base. Cure, he's exposed. Yeah, bunkers are going down. Marines as well. Boys, they're gonna have to be pulled here. And this is a rough defense here for Cure. Ay. Bleeding out so many SCVs. A tank goes down as well. Massive pickoff takes down the tank. Takes down the Raven. And Cure, he was not set up. He was not set up. No bunker, no Raven, 1 tank. The Observer sees everything. And Clem has options. He's rotating into the main. And there's nothing here. There's just nothing in the main base. There's no tank. Stim! Stim gets denied. And Cure's being bullied. Another tank goes down. Clem, he's snowballing out of control. He punishes Cure. That is the downside of going into double Cyclone production, is with less tanks, you're more vulnerable. Remember, there was only 1 tank to defend, and GG gets called. Clem ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. Does tie the series up. I saw someone asking about double Cyclone drops in the meta. I think this is an example of the vulnerabilities that you have when you open up double Cyclone, is that delays your tank production, and if your opponent goes 3 gate Blink or even 4 gate Blink Stalker, that does mean that your second tank is late, and that means that you have to defend 2 locations with only 1 tank. Winding it back, Cure, he had 1 tank in his main, he had 0 tanks at his natural because he only had 1 tank, he had a bunker instead, and with 4 gate Blink, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. 4 gate Blink, it does break through, does punish. GG. GG, well played. With that, so we're getting into our next game, getting into the ace match, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have the French Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. Tying up the series, it is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid being forced into the ace match. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is a Cure. As Cure, he does move out with a proxy Rax. Let's go. How does a pro like Cure not see the Observer there? Even pros like Clem and Maru don't see the Observer there either. It can be quite difficult to see the Observer, especially if it is not moving, especially if you don't hear the siege in time. So yes, Observers, they do sometimes get spotted and get shut down. At other times they don't. Happens to even Clem, even Maru, every Terran player. Meanwhile, ooh, double gas. Are we going racks into factory? Or just... Hello. We'll see. We'll see if this is just reacted Reaper into a bunker on the low ground. That would make the most sense in my mind, just because we're not really set up for an add-on for reacted Marauder. Yep, there we go. Okay, Reaper. So reacted Reaper. And this SCV should be setting up for a bunker as well. We'll keep an eye on him. Yeah, the SCV does move in. And does not get behind the mineral line. Okay, okay. He's working his way there, though. Going to be zoned away by the probe. Back at home at factory follow-up. And can we get that bunker? There we go. Bunker has been thrown down. Now, this is a late bunker. The biggest problem here, it's a very late bunker. It is very delayed. We'll see if we can get up and running. Stalker is being chronoed as we speak. It should be done in time, though. The bunker, I mean. Stalker needs a couple more seconds. Probe goes down. Oh, shield battery gets thrown down just in time. And the bunker does complete, just barely. Whew. That was very clutch. Bunker does complete. And with that, mining is going to be denied. Now, the goal of this build is not to kill, is not to cripple. It is to delay mining at the natural. Now, this build has been weakened. This build is nerfed in the most recent patch. For those that remember, you can no longer salvage. In the past, you used to be able to pull this off, then leave, and then just salvage the bunker. Now, the salvage is denied, and now there's a bigger investment to this. Speaking of, yep, salvage is denied, and the bunker is killed. So there's a reason why you see less of this build nowadays, because now it's a bigger commitment from the Terran player. It's more expensive. So nice cleanup here by Clem. Very nice cleanup. He shuts this down. Back at home, we have Cure following this up, going for his own 1-1-1. Beyond did this to me, yeah, and again, like it's worse now, just because you can't get the salvage off. Once the shield battery finishes, then Clem will just shut down the bunker, cleans it up. Clem is sold back at home. Clem, he lost one probe in the process. This was a better setup here from Clem, freely landing on 2 bases, and we'll see how Cure recovers from here and where this leads us. From here, Widowmine drop. Widowmine drop is on the way. Cure is moving in. Now, I should also re-emphasize here, Jesus, that's a big commitment here into the mine drop. I was going to say that typically Widow mine drops are not really designed to get damage done. They're designed to scout. They're designed to get an eye on the gateway count. Remember, last game, Clem did go 4 Gateling Stalker, which did catch Cure off guard. So we have to keep an eye on the gateways, on the tech, on what's going on. For us, we can see it's just 2 Gateling. 2 Gateling Stalker. This is very uncommitted, going for a 3rd expansion, so very economic build out of Clem, and it's on Cure to confirm what's going on. He has to confirm how aggressive or how greedy Clem is being. So again, this is very economic. Widowmine drop in towards the main, Reapers towards the 3rd. He does get eyes on the timing of the 3rd base, now he knows. He's aware of the 3rd, he's aware of the timing. Widowmine drop into the main. Stalkers there mainly at the natural. There's only 1 Stalker in the main, sorry, 2 Stalkers in the main. Does respond in time, does react. And Cure, he does unload all 4 Widowmines. He shouldn't get much damage here. Nice zoning with the Stalkers. Very nice. Yeah, the medevac is forced back, and we'll kill the Widowmines at the same time, though. That's still going to be 6 probes. The Reapers are coming in. 7. The Reapers. 7. 8 probes going down. Not bad. Okay. 8 workers do fall, but that is a really costly drop. Basically, what happened here, usually when you go for a quadruple mine drop, you get 2 shots off, and then you can unborrow them, and you can save them, and the other Widowmines zone away the Stalkers. But here, because of the positioning, Clem, he zoned away the medevac. He couldn't save a single Widowmine. That was a big investment here from Cure. Get some decent damage, but remember, Clem went for an economic build. Clem went for a faster 3rd base, so he can sustain some of this damage. Behind this, gets across the map, gets into the mineral line, and getting up to 2 SCVs. Oh. Getting 2, 3 SCV kills. Nicely done. Nice control. Clem does blink away. Does blink back. Behind this, we do have not a Colossus follow-up. Interesting. Going into Storm instead. So going Blink Stalker into Charge is standard. Whether you go into Storm or Colossus is more of a stylistic choice. Oh. As the Raven does hit the natural. 2 probes. Not bad. Takes down 2 workers. Raven does survive. Can always go back in. Always go back in. Behind the secure, he is secure on 2 bases. He will eventually break out. Basically, the Terran player is stuck on 2 bases until Stim finishes. When Stim is done, then Cure can expand and get his 3rd base up and running. I say that I still don't see a 3rd CC yet. Right now, we're waiting for 2 things. Waiting for either a 3rd CC or 2 more Vaxes. So what does Cure go for? For now, Stim is done in 2 seconds. He breaks out. And he should be getting a CC on location. Yeah, there we go. CC is now on the way, so he is expanding. Now Cure should be gaining map control. Behind this, Clem fully saturated on 3 bases. Should be looking to get a 4th Nexus. Should soon be expanding. Yo, we already pre-morphing the High Templar. Let's go 4 High Templar in the Prism. We got the Storms. Storms are getting ready. As the first observer goes down. I say first, I believe. Oh, does catch 1 observer. Doesn't quite get the other, though. Actually fully in the main. Seeing everything coming out of the production. Cure does move out. Clem is aware. Clem is getting ready. He's getting ready here. And again, the purpose of this push should be to deny the 4th. To deny the 4th base, to contain Clem. I'm not so sure he can actually break the 3rd, especially with Storm. Like, Storm is waiting on top of the ramp. Cure, he scans, he rotates. Storm is coming in. Oh, massive Storm on the bio. Oh my god, the Storms, they collapse in, and Cure, he will lose everything. Yeah, the entire army goes down. He gets caught on siege. Massive catch. And Cure, he plummets in supply. 1 shot goes off. 1, 2 1 shots on the Zealots, but that's not good enough here either. Yeah, Cure, he lost everything. He's got a couple of bio units left over. From here, Clem can now expand, get his 4th, and push out. And what's terrifying, he still has Storms. Still has High Templar. Still has plenty more Storms left over. There's the NG overcharge. 2 White Templar in the War Prism. The Bay is on the way for Colossus. Clem, I assumed, was expanding on the right. My apologies, expanding on the left-hand side, so still getting a 4th nonetheless. Cure, he wasn't even pressuring the correct side. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. And here we go. Now Clem is pushing in. Another Storm in the fire. Zoning back the army. Another Storm as well. And the Storms, they just keep on going. The boys are pulled. 12 SCVs go down. And Cure has been broken. He has been broken. Again, it was just a brutal fight. The worst fight that Cure could have hoped for out on the map. The best fight that Clem could have hoped for. Catching the army on siege and catching the army stacked up. GG gets called. And Clem will take the series 2-1. Taking down Cure. GG. GG, well played. I believe that is going to confirm Cure cannot make it out of the group. Like, Cure has had a really rough time in this group. Fun fact, I believe the only map that Cure took was against Clem. He went down to Showtime, he went down to Max Spec, went down to Hero, but did take a map off of Clem, so I mean, well done there for Cure to be able to put a point on the board, but has had a bit of a rougher time here in this round robin group stage. Regardless, GG, well played. The standings are shifting, and we have 1 series left to go. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the overall standings yourself, but as you can see here, we have 1 series left. The final best of 3 of the broadcast today is going to be Showtime versus Shin in a PvZ.